This is Joshua Hart from JTH Boxing. Today I'm here with the founder of the Box Off, Razi Hassan. Razi, first of all, how are we doing?
I'm great, Joshua. Thanks a lot for coming along today. It's the press conference for the Box Off first show tomorrow, Telford International Centre. We'll get things moving at about 6:30, and it's going to be a great night of boxing.
And just talk to me about how this all came about. Obviously, you mentioned on stage that this has been quite a long project. We're now just less than 24 hours out from the start. Just how proud of you, first of all, of the team around you to get into this position of, getting it. You've got a big arena. The Telford Arena's had some good boxing here very recently. You're going to add to that. Just how proud of you, of yourself and the team that you've got around you?
Incredibly proud, incredibly humbled. It's been a real journey. The team, Paul, Jav, Sahel, Saul, the core team behind the Box Off. I couldn't have asked for better people. We all pitch in, we all help each other. No one is sort of, a diva of any sorts. Everyone mucks in. We get to the event, we pull up the banners together. So we've been really, really fortunate in that sense, and it's been a long old journey. It's been 3 years in the making. We've been very fortunate in that we've had very good and very supportive backers as well, in terms of who enabled us to get to this stage. We're very fortunate in that respect, and they've given us the belief at times that we can do this. And being up there on the stage today and hearing the likes of Johnny Nelson saying how he knows how difficult it can be on our side of things, but how important it is for new promotions and new organisations like us to constantly refresh and innovate and do things to bring something new to boxing and to sport in general is so important. And before this interview started, you told me about how excited you are about it, and that's what it's all about. I've spoken to Ricky Hatton. Ricky Hatton's excited about this. So for me as a boxing fan, as a Ricky Hatton fan, I've got Ricky Hatton excited about something. What more could I possibly ask for?
So I think, this is the first show that you've done. I'm sure it's the first of many. But when you look at the names that you've got involved, you've got Johnny Nelson, Ricky Hatton, two of British boxing's finest we've ever had. For them to get involved from the very off, just like, how much excitement does that give you for the future for the other names that you can get involved?
Yeah, it does. They're legends. Both of them are legends. And then on the other side with JK and Tom Skinner, both are extremely popular people in their communities and on social media and within the music industry and entertainment. So, like I said in the press conference, we're so lucky and it's remarkable that we were able to get our first choices for London, Birmingham, Leeds and Manchester. So that's a real result for us. And the reality is that Johnny Nelson is one of the best pundits around. Contracted to Sky Sports. He's a busy guy, a very, very busy guy. If he didn't feel that there was something here, he wouldn't have gotten involved. And the same with Ricky. Ricky's released his documentary recently. I know for a fact there's lots happening with Ricky and there's things to be announced in the weeks and months ahead. So they're all busy. But there's something here as boxing, as former champions, former boxers, pro boxers, they look at this and think, right, here's an opportunity for us to get behind a group of individuals that want to make a career, prospects, hungry prospects that want to go on to achieve incredible things, because they're reliving, through those fighters on their team, they will be reliving their careers and giving an opportunity or helping a fighter navigate through, what can be a very difficult arena.
And when you look at it from the fighter's perspective as well, obviously, they're coming into the sport. A lot of them have said that they're in this because a lot of them obviously struggle with ticket sales. At the end of the day, not a lot of people see boxing at the lowest level. People think this sport is glamorous, there's so much fame and money to be made, but when you look at it, there's really not only a select few actually get to that top level and make those the big money. So for you to provide a platform for these fighters where, while it's not mainstream television, it's still live on Boxing Social on YouTube, and if anything, YouTube's more accessible than television. Just like, how beneficial is this for those fighters who are coming up and coming through ranks? And not just that, but the journeyman as well. You've got a whole journeyman fight there, which I think is fun. Like I said to you off camera, I think it's fantastic. How beneficial is this for the fighters to kind of almost get a grasp of what it's like to have a big press conference where there's media there and have all the big lights on them? Like, how much good stead will that put them in future?
Yeah, completely. So a lot of these fighters here today will not have experienced this. We're in the Telford International Centre. We're up in one of the big rooms here. We've got tiered seating for a press conference. We've got a massive backdrop. They've all been up there in the lights, and it's incredible. And they've all played up to it. They all wanted to be in that position, in that limelight. And like you said, boxing is a niche business in the sense that there's very few people that make lots and lots of money. And they do make lots and lots of money. Then you've got sort of the middle ground where people can make a living. But then you've got the fighters at this level that, as I said in the press conference, often will end up paying to be in this sport. To come out, to go onto a show they will ultimately, through everything that it costs them, from nutritionists to the lifestyle that they have to live to the coaching, the training, everything, they ultimately pay to be doing this. So there's something not quite right there, ethically, in a sports person going into a ring, risking their life, having to pay to do that. So we introduced, and it was a huge decision, and to give a purse in the box off semi-final. So we guaranteed all the fighters a purse. No one does that unless you've got television backing, TV money, or serious backing. Nobody does that. We took that gamble. We've taken that gamble because we believe in our concept. We believe in being able to deliver something, and we're confident that taking our calculated risks, we will be in a position in the months and years ahead to be, like you said, amplifying across YouTube, which is, I agree, the most accessible format. But then also, we want broadcast. Of course we do. We want television. We want to be talking to the various different partners out there and saying, look, we've got a great concept here. We've delivered it. People love it. People enjoyed themselves. Let us get involved.
And when you look at, obviously, I'm always talking about the timings of the events. Obviously, this is a semi-final. I'm sure there'll be a final with the two winning teams going through. Surely it's quite hard to find a time where everyone's free, especially when you look at the captains you've got involved, obviously the fighters as well. There's a couple of fighters on this card who've got 2 fights. It's not just the journeyman. There's a couple of prospects who've got like a fight this week and they'll have another fight in 3-4 weeks. How hard is it to find the time and not just like the venues and everything? So obviously, if you want to do a semi-final, you're going to need to do a final. How do you determine all of that?
Yeah, it's part of the whole jigsaw puzzle, right? Finding those high-profile people have very, very busy diaries. Getting everybody here today for a press conference and for fight night tomorrow is a feat. It really is, because they've got people that manage their diaries. Most of the time, the likes of Johnny, Ricky, Tom and Jay don't know where they're going to be. So that is a challenge. Then trying to get all those fighters fit, healthy, ready to fight is a challenge. All their medicals and everything they have to go. So talking to Paul and Jav earlier, who are on the real pure boxing side of what we're doing, they're amazed that we managed to get the 10 bouts. Everybody here on the day, everyone weighed, everyone making weight, and everyone fit and ready to go tomorrow.
And how excited are we for the fights itself? Obviously, like I said, there's 10 people, 10 fights, of fighters who haven't got that much in the sport. A lot of them are coming through, a lot of them are journeymen. I feel like it's one of those nights where every single fighter is going to come and give it 100%, 110%. Obviously, sometimes you see journeymen come in and they'll just try to survive. I don't think we'll see anyone trying to survive tomorrow. I think we'll just see every single fighter giving it 110%. I think it's just something. It's going to be a brilliant night of boxing, isn't it?
It is. It absolutely is. And we've got the Birmingham fighters, Manchester, London, and Leeds, and everyone's bringing people to the show, so they're going to have great support on the night. Tanya Ledger, who is a local fighter, is making her pro debut, so that's a big story for her as well. We've got Kay Jimenez from Birmingham, who has an incredible story. He has a brother who is in prison, I think, in Spain, and he's been given permission for an hour tomorrow night to tune in to watch his fight. And we're hearing that he's got lots of people there that are excited and buzzing for him. So there's going to be people all over the world tuning in for tomorrow night, and we're just ready and raring to go to put on a great show.
And when you look for future shows, obviously, like what other locations are like? When you see the first location, you've kind of ticked off the big ones already. But would you like to maybe dabble and take some of the more lesser-known locations where there's a lot of talent?
Yeah, of course. Look, for us in year one, it was all about we need to make a splash, a bit of a bang. So we need to go with the 4 big cities. We've had Sheffield, Nottingham, Liverpool knocking on the door. I was keen to go out west to Cardiff, but then we've got the likes of Glasgow, Dublin. This competition can really expand, and again, they're major cities. I'm from Watford. The original idea, the concept was to have a team from Watford go up against a team from Luton. I was quickly convinced that wasn't a good idea for obvious reasons, and so we diversified it and we evolved the plan and everything, and here we are today. But look, this can expand. Why not? 4 teams this year, 8 teams next year, 2 quarterfinals, a semi-finals, and a finals. Why not? And then from there, who says that we're not restricted by borders? We could be moving up and down, left and right, and overseas and all sorts.
I'm glad that you mentioned Nottingham, because I'm actually from Nottingham myself, and I think if I saw a Nottingham team, I would be wherever you go, I'll follow Nottingham. Just finally, I want you to give your best promotion of tomorrow night, and just explain what tomorrow night's all about, because there's a lot of people who might not be aware of what's going on. while there is a lot of people who are aware, I want you to give your best promotion and just sell this as well as you can.
Absolutely. So the box off semi-final tomorrow night, Telford International Centre. London, the Governors, led by Tom Skinner, are going up against Birmingham, the Tribe, led by the one and only King of Birmingham, JK. And in the second half, we've got Johnny Nelson from the Leeds Armoury, Yorkshire Pride, going up against Ricky Hatton's Manchester Revolution. It's the Red Roses versus the White Rose. It's going to be an incredible night. Lots of great fights. The team competition, we're scoring points for each city. Be there, don't miss it. Tickets still available. www.theboxoff.com. See you tomorrow night.
Razi, thank you for your time, and I cannot wait for tomorrow night. Thank you.
Cheers, mate.